From horrific animal mutations to potential evidence of aliens and ghosts, here are the top 5 haunted pictures from history you weren't meant to see. Number 5 on this list is the two-headed dog. This truly is a chilling story of one of the most well-known mad scientists in all of history. Vladimir Dyatlov was a Russian scientist who was fascinated with transplantology. Just how Dr. Zeus would make up words, well, our mad scientist did the same with transplantology. He coined the term and brought the world's attention to his very questionable experiments. He had become rather successful at transplanting organs between his favorite test subject, dogs. Giving one dog the organ of another dog and having that organ function, well, this was new science back then. This part of his work has actually done wonders in medical science for humans, as now transplanting an organ or donating one after you pass away is commonplace. What he does next, though, hasn't done that much for our medical practices at all, and just raised a bunch of controversy. Vladimir wanted to push the envelope and go as far as he possibly could with his experiments. This is what led him to the two-headed dog. This picture was taken in 1959 and shows one larger host dog, a German Shepherd, with the head of another smaller dog sticking out of it. An article written by Aaron Kelly writes, "Thanks to the team's wealth of experience, the operation took a mere 3.5 hours. After the two-headed dog was resuscitated, both heads could hear, see, smell, and swallow. Although Shavka's transplanted head could drink, she was not connected to Brogan's stomach. Anything she drank flowed through an external tube and onto the floor. In the end, this two-headed dog lived only 4 days. Had a vein in the neck area not accidentally got damaged, it may have lived even longer than Demikov's longest living two-headed dog, which survived 29 days. Even setting aside the deaths of the canine subjects, the moral implications of Demikov's experiments are tricky. This head transplantation, unlike some of his other advancements in the field of transplantology, had no real-life applications. Yet there were certainly very real implications for the dogs. So guys, my personal opinion here is that this should have been shut down from the first wind anyone got of it. The fact that it continued for as long as it did is honestly pretty sickening to me. Now we're just left with some of these creepy pictures of some experiments that really never should have happened. Number 4 on this list is the Salem UFO. This is one of the most famous photographs of a UFO to date, and one that people keep coming back to as potential proof for alien life. The image was captured on August 3rd, 1952, and as you can see, shows 4 bright orbs in the sky. This was taken in Salem, Massachusetts at Salem's Coast Guard Air Station. Now there's been many potential explanations thrown around about what this could be, but the most prominent is definitely aliens. Some have speculated that it could be a reflection of light, some weird looking clouds, or just a product of a 1950s camera malfunctioning. Now these are all possible, but I'm gonna be honest, these are some pretty strange looking things in this picture. They look pretty much exactly how one would imagine a UFO to look. It also just so happens that around this time, tons of other UFO sightings were happening as well. This could have just been a coincidence, or it could be an actual sighting because they were just actually flying around back then. Comment down below what you guys think about this image. Was it a freak camera thing, or was it actually a UFO? Number 3 on this list is the Amityville Ghost Boy. The Amityville Horror House is one of the scariest real-life ghost stories in human history. It all started when this home was host to a gruesome tragedy. Ronald Defoe Jr. shot and killed 6 members of his family in this house in 1974. Those who were killed never really left though, and haunted the next people who lived in this home. The hauntings got so bad that our favorite real-life Ghostbusters came in to save the day, Ed and Lorraine Warren. This case has most likely gone down as their most famous in their time as being active paranormal specialists. Now the photo in question is of a young boy with bright white eyeballs. History vs. Hollywood writes, the photo below was allegedly taken inside the Amityville house in 1976. It's become one of the most famous paranormal photos of all time. It features what appears to be a young boy with white eyes who's peeking out of a doorway. George Lutz revealed the Amityville Ghost Boy photo on the Merv Griffin show back in 1979, 3 years after it was taken. The image was supposedly captured by Gene Campbell, a professional photographer who was part of the team who worked worked with paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Gene had set up an automatic camera that took infrared pictures to capture the second floor landing during the night. Equipped with black and white film, his camera captured this Amityville ghost boy photo that some have speculated could be the ghost of the murdered child John Defoe, who'd lived in this house with his family prior to the Lutzes. How a child would have gotten into this home, what he would have been doing here, these are all the questions that we don't know and probably won't ever know. That's why for now anyways, the most probable explanation is that of a ghost. Number 2 on this list is the Dyatlov Pass. The Dyatlov Pass incident is a tragic event that occurred in 1959. 9 Russian hikers died on February 1st and February 2nd in some very strange, unexplained circumstances. Listen to what Wikipedia writes about the manner to which these bodies were found. After the group's bodies were discovered, an investigation by Soviet authorities determined that 6 had died from hypothermia, while the other 3 had been killed by physical trauma. 1 victim had major skull damage, 2 had severe chest trauma, and another had a small crack in the skull. 4 of the bodies were found lying in running water in a creek, and 3 of these had soft tissue damage of the head and face. 2 of the bodies were missing their eyes, 1 was missing its tongue, and 1 was missing its eyebrows. The investigation concluded that a compelling natural force had caused the deaths. Numerous theories have been put forward to account for the unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, avalanche, katabatic winds, infrasound-induced panic, military involvement, or some combination of these. These are all plausible, but some other supernatural causes have also been thrown out there as well. Aliens, yetis, demons, these are all the things that people have speculated upon. The manner to which these people died is just so strange that it doesn't make sense. They were fine and then all of a sudden ran from the safety of their tents, not dressed for the elements. The picture that we have here is from just prior to this event taking place, and it's the last known image captured of these men alive. It's incredibly creepy because it looks as if they're walking into a snowy nothing. What was waiting for them in that nothing? It's anyone's guess. Number 1 on this list is the Brown Lady of Rainman Hall. This image was captured in the fall of 1936 while people were taking pictures of the house. The famous photo is of the central staircase and shows an image that looks strikingly like the ghost who resides here. The Brown Lady of Rainman Hall. This ghost is believed to be the spirit of Lady Dorothy Walpole, who used to live in this home many years ago. She died over 200 years ago under suspicious circumstances, and as the years passed, more people started seeing her ghost appear around the residence. These rumors obviously exploded though after this photo was caught, showing the world that this poltergeist could potentially be real. The reason that I think this photo is the closest thing we have to real evidence of a ghost is because there were literal stories already surrounding a ghost at this location. It's one thing to take a photo and see something weird on it and then think, oh, maybe that's a ghost, but it's a complete other thing when there's already been rumors circulating about this ghost for centuries. Everything adds up. It makes sense why there'd be a poltergeist standing in the staircase, and we even know who it is. Yes, 1930s cameras are shoddy to say the least, but when there's this much lore surrounding it, I tend to think that we may have gotten lucky and gotten an actual gem of a photograph proving the existence of a ghost. And if that's the case, then it isn't an exaggeration to say that this could be the most haunted photograph ever. Well, there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 haunted pictures from history you just weren't meant to see. Please comment down below what you thought about these photographs and some other haunted images that are just too scary to be seen. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.